What up, everybody? An exciting addition to Force Season 3 was the giant 6'10", 300 plus pound King Kilo, played by former NBA player Big Baby Davis. And King Kilo was supposed to be getting out of prison in Season 3 and wanted revenge against D-Mac for taking out his nephew. But over the last year, there's been a lot of speculation if we'll actually see King Kilo in Power Book Force Season 3. Because of the fact that Glen Baby Davis recently went to prison on fraud charges. But after looking into this matter, I can confirm that King Kilo will still be in Season 3, even though Glen Davis is currently incarcerated. This is because Force Season 3 was filmed February of 2024 to July of 2024, and Big Baby Davis didn't report to prison until October of 2024, over 2 months after Force Season 3 had already been done filming. In addition to that, around the same time that Force Season 3 was filming, Big Baby appeared on the Your Boyfriend Can't Cook podcast with Chris Lofton, who plays Jannard on Power Book Force. And during this podcast, they mentioned filming for Season 3. And Big Baby also posted fan art for Force Season 3 on his IG account soon before going to prison. So we can't expect King Kilo to still be in Season 3, either though the actor's currently incarcerated. But because he got 40 months in prison, means he won't get out until around 2027 or 2028. Either though I don't know what kind of game time they get at the prison he's at. Because of that, there's also a good chance that the character King Kilo will get killed off the show in Season 3. King Kilo's the leader of a gang in Chicago called the RDs. The RDs' territory was said to be 71st and Tellman. Diamond also told Tommy that CBI and the RDs had been beefing since 1994 when the first split happened, and that they used to be one. We got our first look at the RD gang in Season 2 when some of Jannard's crew flipped to the RDs and they shot up Slick's diner aiming at Diamond while screaming CBI killers. At this time, they also yelled 7-1-T block, and that's how Diamond figured out they were part of the RDs. But when Diamond told Tommy what happened, Tommy wanted to put a cap in some RDs and call it a day. But Diamond let Tommy know that he was locked up with the leader of the RDs, King Kilo, and they used to talk about putting together a coalition with all the mobs coming together and uniting as one. Diamond said either though in the joint it sounded like a fantasy, this might be the best move to make moving forward. With this coalition, the crews were supposed to stop the violence and bloodshed, and all the crews were supposed to stand together. If they come for one, they got to answer to all of them. And by working together, they would get better prices for everybody. And King Kilo agreed for the RDs to join the coalition, but wanted half of the distro in the joint. Something that Tommy didn't want to do at first, but ended up agreeing to the deal under the terms that they supplied the drugs. And once CBI and the RDs united, other crews in Chicago also began to come on board and help CBI take over the city of Chicago. But the main thing that was keeping the whole coalition together was that first agreement from King Kilo and the RDs. And if the RDs weren't on board, the whole coalition would likely fall apart. But while Tommy was out making moves and getting other crews in the city on board with the coalition, Diamond was distracted with other things. Diamond was still on parole and dealing with his parole officer, and he was also training a young kid named Leon that he began to bond with, and also started catching feelings for Leon's mother. And because of Leon's positive influence in Diamond's life, Diamond was even starting to have thoughts about life away from the game. But then as Diamond was dropping Leon off at home when he was about to do an interview on TV, some of the kids who bullied Leon from around the neighborhood started messing with him when Leon put his new boxing skills that he learned from Diamond to use. But that caused the kid that Leon had fought to pull out his gun and kill Leon right in front of Diamond, leaving Leon to die in Diamond's arms. And after this, Diamond went to a very dark place, going back to the old Diamond. And he wanted the kid who killed Leon dead, and he didn't care that this kid was only 16 years old. Only for Diamond to get the news that he wasn't going to be able to make a move against this kid who went by the name Mad Dog because he was the nephew to none other than King Kilo. So either though Diamond wanted Mad Dog dead, he put taking him out on hold to avoid messing things up with the coalition, because the fact him and Tommy were trying to make moves to become the Connect. But around this same time, D-Mac had escaped from the boarding school that Tommy had sent him to and was laying low at Marshall's apartment. And Marshall had the scoop about everything that happened between Mad Dog and Leon and how Diamond wasn't able to make a move against him. So for Marshall to know all that, I do wonder if he had talked to Gennard, keeping in mind that they knew each other going back to season 1 when Marshall worked for Gennard. So because D-Mac wasn't a part of CBI anymore and wanted to get back in, he took it upon himself to take out Mad Dog. But instead of letting D-Mac back in CBI, this only pissed Diamond off even more, even saying, "I thought Tommy got rid of you," when D-Mac walked in. Keeping in mind that Diamond already sees D-Mac as a liability after he killed the dirty cop Seamus. And because somebody recognized D-Mac, the word on the street was that CBI killed Mad Dog. But instead of turning to Tommy to talk about how to handle this, Diamond turned to Gennard. And Gennard put it in Diamond's ear not to even tell Tommy about it, that he could handle it himself. But because Diamond couldn't go visit King Kilo in prison because of his record, Gennard went to talk to King Kilo instead, with Diamond agreeing to deliver D-Mac to King Kilo, dead or alive, behind Tommy's back. When Gennard went to see King Kilo in prison, word had already got back to him, and he let Gennard know that he was getting out of prison soon, and when he did, that he was going to kill everybody. Either though he was making a lot of money with the coalition, family came first. But then Gennard let King Kilo know that D-Mac wasn't even a part of CBI anymore, and to make things right when he got out of prison, that Gennard would deliver D-Mac to King Kilo himself. So this is one of the biggest storylines going into season 3, King Kilo getting out of prison, with Diamond and Gennard agreeing to hand D-Mac over for him to kill. While Tommy does know that D-Mac has escaped the boarding school, he doesn't know anything about D-Mac killing Mad Dog, and especially about Diamond and Gennard's plan to hand D-Mac over to King Kilo. But neither is D-Mac unaware that he might have a target on his back from King Kilo, because when D-Mac went to tell Diamond that he killed Mad Dog to try to get Diamond to let him back in CBI, the last thing he said to Diamond is, "What are we going to do about King Kilo?" But when D-Mac said that to Diamond, it didn't show the end of that conversation. It just showed Diamond pulling out his gun, getting angry, and saying, "What are we going to do?" And the scene cut. And the next time we saw D-Mac was the final time we saw him in season 2 when he was packing up his stuff to move out of JP's house, tweaking out, paranoid, looking out the window with a gun in his hand, snapping on JP and Kate. This lets us know that D-Mac already thinks there's a chance that somebody could be coming for him. And now that Gennard's agreed to hand D-Mac over to King Kilo, just like how Marshall heard about how Diamond wanted Mad Dog dead, I think there's a chance that this could also get back to him and he could tell D-Mac. So when King Kilo gets out of prison, just like he's going to want to take out D-Mac for killing his nephew, I think D-Mac will also be gunning for King Kilo, knowing that King Kilo wants him dead. Then there's also the fact while Diamond and Gennard are trying to hide this from Tommy, and JP didn't tell him that D-Mac killed someone else, either though D-Mac told that to Kate and JP. When Kate wakes up, I think she could tell Tommy about D-Mac killing somebody. So this is a storyline that could get real messy, ended up creating a whole lot of problems in season 3. But King Kilo will in fact be returning, so we can see just how this storyline plays out. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.